all the guys, you can punish them, not only in a sexual way, it's just so hot. And what? Hey guys, my name is Barbara Baumgartner. I'm a relationship and sex coach, a certified hypnotist and international keynote speaker at the world's biggest hypnosis conferences. I studied psychology and I worked as a dominatrix for 9 years. I'm also offering erotic hypnosis, and I'm always happy when you subscribe, contact me, comment something, or give me a thumbs up. And today I want to talk about my experience being a dominatrix, a professional dominatrix for 9 years. Yeah, how did it all start? I was 27 and I had just came back from the States. I had worked in Disney World, Florida, and I lived with my parents, and I was like, whew, boring life, you know, it's so different compared to the States. And I was always heartbroken. Man always used me and treated me like shit. And then again, I was looking for a new job. I had a job, but it was just a student's job, not really well paid. So I was like, oh mom, this guy hurt me. Oh mom, this guy broke my heart. Oh, I need a new job. What can I do? What can I do? I studied psychology back then, so I had not the time to work full time. And my mom said, you know what? You could become a dominatrix because then you can hit all the guys, you can punish them for being mean to women, and you have money. And of course this was just a joke, because in that job you do not punish because you're heartbroken. It doesn't make sense. You have to be very focused on what the client wants. But then yeah, I just had an advertisement for 100 euros for 6 months, and I said, okay, I pay that, and for 6 months now I just tried, so maybe in those 6 months I will at least have the money back that I paid for the ad, which was 100 euros. And very soon it was my main job. And my first client was somebody who wanted to do golden showers, and I remember being very nervous. And back then actually I was submissive, so my private thing was being submissive, which is now totally different. I will maybe talk about that in one of my videos, but the last like 5, 6, 7 years I'm not. No, actually time flies. I think 7 years. I have not been submissive at all anymore. So yeah, and then I did that, and since I was submissive in my private life, it was really clear to me this is just a job, and I liked it. I liked having the very intimate contact to people. They opened up to me, they talked about everything. By the way, dominatrix means I was not touchable, not penetratable. So they were not allowed to put anything inside me. No kissing, no touching whatsoever, but I could do things with them. And of course, being a dominatrix requires like many psychological skills. So you really need to be very, so for example, let me give you an example. At the beginning, maybe the first 2 years, when they sent me a message saying, hey, can you dominate me? Can you please dominate me and do everything you want with me? And I was like, okay, I do whatever I want with you. But then after the session, many complained, and after the session, which is stupid, while not doing the session, no, but after the session they said, yeah, you know, the part where you made me lick your feet, for example, or put something into my butt, I didn't like that. And I thought, okay, it's stupid to complain afterwards because you paid for something you didn't like. That's stupid. But then I realized, okay, if somebody says do whatever you want with me, it means find out what I really want and then pretend it is your wish. So I had to do the pre-work already, and I needed to find out what does the person want. And so many men just didn't make any sound during the session, so I had to find out, do they like what I'm doing? And it started becoming very interesting for me as a psychology interested person, to find out what does he want. So sometimes some people say something and they mean something else because they cannot communicate that well, you know. And I loved finding out what my clients actually wanted. But then it became more and more, yeah, weird and unpleasant to work, because I realized that more men just wanted to write. They just wanted to write, they never really intended to see you. Or it became really sad when they set a date and I prepared and I said no to maybe other clients or to private things that I was asked for, birthdays or so. And then I was like, hey, what's going on? So do I see you in 2 hours? And I saw I was blocked. Or of course, some men also let me drive to their place and they were not there. And I knew somebody is somewhere behind the curtain laughing because I'm standing there, and even the name is not on the name tag. So yeah, and I remember this one time I drove to a guy for maybe 45 minutes in the rush hour. The traffic was really bad, and I had a full bladder because he wanted to have a golden shower. And then I arrived there and I needed to pee so desperately, and the name couldn't be found, and of course his phone was off. So I know that he was just making fun of me. He was maybe finding it hot to treat women like this. And then I had to go home, and I remember my bladder was almost exploding. And yeah, of course, things like that make you really sad. But I will also have a video soon for you where I talk about the saddest and most unpleasant experience. So things that made me really sad, like for example, once I found a dead body. I heard things about child abuse in a religious context, in a parental context, but also things that made me sad as a woman. Like, I just want to spoil her a bit. Just today, by the way, I received somebody's message. I'm still doing some advertisement for my erotic hypnosis on websites where also prostitutes, or only prostitutes usually advertise. And this guy wrote me today, seeing my erotic hypnosis ad, and I knew where he had found it. It was not on YouTube, and he had a wedding photo in his app, in his WhatsApp profile, and I saw his child there, I saw his wife and him, and it really broke my heart. And usually I do not work with those men. When I see a wedding photo and I know they contacted me via a sex or dating website, I just can't work with them. I'm just too disgusted. And these things, yeah, they make me sad. And of course I also experienced, but not often, a man not respecting my borders. But to be honest, I know there's so many weird men outside in this world, and but to be honest, I know there are so many weird men out there. And I was raped twice in my private life, having private dates. And it's important to talk about that. Maybe I will do another video about that. I think we have to talk about this. It's not our fault when men do something that we don't like, but never in my job, thankfully. But yeah, it's of course a very high-risk job, and I had to stop doing it when the pandemic started. I had by law, but I think even before the law required me, I did stop. Yeah, I think I did not meet anybody. And then after the pandemic, I did it maybe twice, 3 times again, but just with people I knew, and I realized, okay, it's not... I think it's not at the moment what I want to do. I do not say I will never ever do a session again, because it's just a nice feeling for me as a dominatrix. It was always... So I worked at Disney World, I worked as a parade audience control, entertaining the people before the parade started, and also at the turnstiles, and I loved working there. And for me, giving somebody, or fulfilling this dream, a person maybe saves money and then comes to Disney World having the time of their life, it's the same as a person saying, hey, I have this dream, and like for 20 years I've wanted to do that, but I was always too shy, but I saw your profile and you seem nice. And then I can fulfill this person's wish. And this person's wish, this is my second English video on YouTube. Actually, I do work as a tour guide in Munich, by the way, so I do speak English, but it's the first time on camera, so sorry when I still stumble across my own words sometimes. So yeah, when I can make somebody happy and fulfill a dream. Usually when people go to a dominatrix, it's not like going to a prostitute. It's not like I do my business, but it's more like there's this one thing that I dream of, and maybe for many years I've wanted to do it, but I never really did. And then I finally want to do it. I remember I had this one guy, he was almost 50, and he said, you know what, I'm divorced, and my wife, she always wanted to have anal sex. Lucky guy, because most men wish to have a woman like this. But yeah, she wanted to do it, and he said, I always wanted to be penetrated by her. She wanted me to be dominant and do it, but I wanted her to be dominant and do it with me. And now I'm divorced, and the good thing of a divorce is that I can now do it and live my dream. And he was almost 15 for the first time. He had something in his butt and he was so happy to finally do it. I mean, thanks to this guy that he did not cheat on her, that went to a dominatrix during the relationship. But of course, these situations were amazing. When you come home and you know someone really is not just just satisfied, but really happy, really feels like, oh my god, I finally did it. And I was always a happy, very giver. Yeah, I loved, and I was always a very happy giver. I think that's what I can call myself. I liked giving these things. I liked fulfilling dreams. And my border that I did not want anybody to cross was my body, so nobody was allowed to touch me or to kiss me or so, but I did things, you know, so I could do things with my hands, with my feet and so on. And I had a good time, but I think it's okay that I'm not doing it anymore. But to be honest, the worst thing, and it's still when I offer erotic hypnosis or counseling, is the pre-contact. And that was, as a dominatrix, really bad, because man just wanted to ride, and how I told you earlier, they didn't show up and they stood me off, and they never read my ads. Like, hey, what you're offering? Yeah, just read it. Yeah, just tell me. No, just read it. Or they saw all my photos on my so on the profile, in my WhatsApp profile as well, and they were like, hey, can you send photos? Like, no, there's one here and there are many in my profile, so what's your problem, you know? They're just very respectful, very lazy. They just wanted to consume you and not really cared for, hey, what is she writing, you know? I mean, the guys that I finally did meet, they were different, of course, but it was a very hard work to select them out and say, okay, no, okay, you're nice, no, okay, maybe you. So yeah, this was what I did as a dominatrix. And did it change the view that I have towards man? Yes, definitely, but not because I'm against BDSM. It's more the cheating part, the lying part. This is what really bothers me. And I know that even the most serious, nicest men cheat. I learned it as a private person and also as a dominatrix. Not everybody is cheating. Not everybody, please do not get me wrong, but many men, also the ones that you're not expecting it from, they always wanted to lick me. Even though you can have many diseases by licking, you can go back to your wife and make her sick as well. You can make your kids sick, or you can cause, how do you say it, that she loses the child in the belly, you know, when she's pregnant. So when you have something in your mouth because you licked a dominatrix, for example. I never offered that. I never allowed anybody to lick me. But it made me sad to see that so many wanted to do it, that people were not aware of the diseases, not interested. When I talked about that, they were just not interested. But yeah, it was a nice job, it was a nice time, it was 9 years, and I did not earn as much as you might think now, because how I said, many men wrote. I was always afraid that the tax company wanted to have more taxes, because yeah, my emails were full, so many emails, but the real meetings were a tiny percentage, usually like maybe 1%. 0.5 to 1% of the people writing, yeah, I actually met. So I did much work to select the man that I wanted to meet. And yeah, there were many bad things as well that happened, but I will talk in other videos about that. I just wanted to let you know I was a dominatrix, and I think that giving something to people that they make happy, and I think giving something to people that makes them happy when you can do it and you're not suffering and not feeling bad about that is a good thing. I do not regret having done it, and yeah, contact me if you want to have a session with me, if you want to talk, and I'm happy to see you soon. Please, if you like my videos, subscribe, give it a thumbs up and a comment, because then YouTube knows that my videos are good. They are spreading it on YouTube, others see it as well, and then I can start earning something with YouTube. And this means that you can consume my videos, you can learn for free, you do not have to pay me, because YouTube is paying me. That's actually my wish. Then I can earn my money and you can have fun for free. Bye guys!